Hi, and welcome back. This is picoCTF2018 number 17, and today we're going to do grep 2, which is 125 points. It's still under general skills, and it says here that this one is a little bit harder, and that's because we started using grep here in grep 1, but we also used it, as far as I remember, in netcat. And here's Johnny, strings and pipe. So we are kind of like familiar with grep. And you also have the hints here, which gives you a tutorial on grep. But grep is your friend, so we are going to use it in some kind of manner here. And we are going to find a flag in this path here somewhere. So let's copy this path first of all, and let's see where that leads us. You have seen me log into the Pico shell so many times now that we don't have to do that. But let's start off here with pasting in that path. And what we need here is, of course, a CD to change directories like that, and then we should be ready to go here. And we're ending up here in a directory called files. And if we take an ls here, we have a lot of more directories called files 0, files 1, etc. And let's move into files 1 just for the fun of it and see what we can find. And here we have a lot of files. And the way we have done this before, right, is we have used grep, and then what we are looking for, which in our case has been pico, which is part of picoCTF, part of the flag, and the name of the file, which in this case could be, let's say, file 0 here, right? And we're not getting anything back, and that's because the flag's not there. So this is like looking for a needle in the haystack. So we're gonna move back here one step, and we have to presume that file 0 has a lot of files in it, and files 1, files 2, files 3 has a lot of files in it. So the way we've done it so far is not the way to do it for this problem. It would be a waste of time, to put it that way. So we're going to look at how we should do it. Now, instead of using the tutorial, I'd like you to actually start using the manual. So right now we're back to our own terminal in Linux here, and we are going to type in man grep, which is the command for the manual. This manual you will also find in all places on the internet that you look. Just type man grep and it's gonna pop up. So you don't need a Linux terminal to do this, but it's easy to see, and it's very slow doing this in the Pico shell. But here we have an option when you start looking at the options here, right? Because that's kind of like what we need to use. We have something called TAC-R here, which is recursive. Read all files under each directory recursively. And that's what we're going to use. So we're going to click out here, and we are back in our Pico shell, and we're going to use that. Now remember, we are here in files. Let's just take the ls one more time here so you can see. Here we have all the files, right? Inside the folder or directory files which we are in. And we're looking for the pico or the picoCTF. So what we've learned now is that we can use the command grep, and then we can use an option here, tac-r, and we're not going to look in any special file. We're going to look in all of them, and all the directories and all the files inside those directories. But we still need to tell grep what we're searching for, and we're searching for pico, and that's actually all we need. And then we hit enter, and here we have it. So in files 4 and the file 20, that's where we have the flag here. So let's capture that first, so we have it. Control C, and like always, just for the fun of it, we could go in CD files 4, and we know it's in file 20. Let's take an ls here. We know it's in file 20, right? So now we could actually have done the grep and pico and file 20, and we would have the flag. But that's like a 2-hour job, and even though we have some files here, it could be 1,000 files, right? So it's not actually feasible to do it that way. And we can exit out of the pico shell. We have the flag. One thing that you can remember is that grep is case sensitive. So when we're using it and we're searching for pico with a small p, that's exactly what we're going to get. If pico had been with a capital P, we wouldn't get it. So we know that picoCTF always starts with a small p, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. It could vary between each time we use it. So in that case, grep also has an option for that. So just so you know it, start looking at the manual page for grep, and it has a lot of options on different things. But for now, let's submit this. And we have solved one more problem. And next time we have a Akka shell A for 150 points, which could be interesting. And until next time.